The principal was $100,000, but I accrued $26,000 in interest, and this is my balance right now, $126,167.
So I am in around, with interest and everything calculated, $156,000 in student loan debt.
This is one of those issues that we all sort of wake up every day and know it's there and know it's not going away.
When I was signing for my student loans, I had absolutely no clue what that would mean for me in my current life now.
$1.7 trillion in student debt across the United States. The average time it takes to pay off a student loan is 21 years. So why are we so addicted to taking on this debt for education? I'm Morgan Steinagel, and today I'm going to blow your mind about the current state of our education system. I won't dispute that there are tons of fields that require formal education, and trust me, I wouldn't want to get my appendix taken out by a doctor who only took a Udemy course. As someone who almost died on an operating table in Ukraine getting his burst appendix taken out, I have a lot of respect for what it takes to become a doctor. And I'm very grateful for those who take on all of that formal education to be able to do that. There are tons of disruptors shaking the foundation of modern education. We have online courses, YouTube videos, coaching programs, and many other options to choose from. Despite this, it's still taking time, and lots of people are still falling behind due to old systems and ideas that just don't work anymore. So what is it that needs to change? Majors, the meat of every college institution, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the $13 million settlement that you get at the end of dealing with 4 years of mental and emotional trauma. Here's the issue. Not all majors were created equally. Specifically, undergraduate degrees or your classic 4-year college education. And I'll show you what I mean. Meet Sally. She grinded her way through 4 years of monotony getting her teaching degree. Now she scrapes gum off the bottoms of desks and wipes kids' butts for $41,000 a year, according to salary.com. Meanwhile, Rajesh, fueled only by Monster energy drinks and stopping only to empty out his 2-liter bottle of urine that he keeps under his desk, is now making $70,000 a year plus stock options coding at his local tech startup because of his computer science degree. If these two people both went to the same university and paid the same for their education, both came out with $37,000 in student debt, simple math would say that Rajesh would pay off his student loans way quicker than Sally, just due to the fact that he makes way more money. Sally would have to get some kind of lucrative side hustle in order to keep up. Though the university will charge the same rate for everyone in their programs, the people who choose the lesser earning degrees are already going to be starting on worse financial footing from the get-go. Majors should be priced based on the median income that those majors lead to. This would accomplish two things. People would make much more informed decisions about the career path that they want to take, as well as the major that they choose. It would also solve one of the biggest issues leading to the crippling student debt crisis by helping people with lesser earning degrees be able to pay off their debt quicker. Debt, for some reason, has become justifiable for education no matter what. There are definitely certain career paths that warrant large amounts of debt, such as doctors, lawyers, engineers, even pilots. There are a lot of them. With careers like these, the return on investment is really high. But unfortunately, this isn't the case for most undergraduate degrees. So I'm working on this video and realized that when I started putting it together 2.5 months ago, we had no idea that Biden was going to come out with this plan to forgive everyone $10,000 of their student loans. I have a ton of opinions about this, but this video is done, so I'm not going to get into that. And what I'm going to do instead is actually link Andre Jick's video on this. He gives tons of information about it. He explains it in a way that is much better than I could in this moment. So I'll go ahead and just link that down below. Check it out. It's an awesome video. Gives tons of information. Really shows what's going on. The average person in the US graduates with $37,000 in debt, and it takes them on average 21 years to pay it off. At this rate, the average student loan would cost $230 per month to pay off, and the person paying off the loan would eventually end up paying $58,000. But what is the opportunity cost? If Sally decided against going to college altogether and took that $230 per month that she would have spent on her student loans and instead put that into investments in the stock market every month, then after 25 years, which is how long it would have taken her to get her degree plus pay off the student loan, she would have a total of $181,000. Not bad considering that the average American only has $17,000 in savings and investments. So the opportunity cost is the amount of money that she would have made in the stock market plus the amount of money that she spent paying off her student loans, which totals $240,000. That's the opportunity cost of her going to college. So why does this matter to people like Sally? Over the last 20 years, tuition prices have gone up by over 300%. It has beat out inflation by 5 to 1. Meanwhile, average salaries have not kept up. Simply put, school is costing more and more, and people are making less and less. A degree doesn't get you what it used to. Inversely, by that same logic, the debt that you accrue by getting a degree is making the return on investment smaller and smaller. The formula for calculating your return on investments is really simple, but colleges don't want you to do the math. Rather than bore you by going through those calculations, feel free to study it down below in the description. Ultimately, you're just trying to figure out whether or not a certain career path is worth it for you. I went to college for a while. Fortunately, I didn't study film, which is one of the most underemployed degrees that a person can get. Literally, over 50% of people with a film degree can't get a job within the field. If you were to ask a college enrollment counselor about their film program, they would tell you all about the awesome opportunities it would give you and all the cool things that their program has. On the other hand, if you ask filmmakers who actually make money whether or not you should go to film school, almost without exception, they'll tell you that film school is a waste of time. Logan is behind the camera. His father-in-law actually worked at a film company for 20 years. Not only did he prefer hiring people without degrees, but school counselors actually had to stop bringing would-be film students to his studio because he just kept telling them that film school was a waste of time. This is the stuff that people need to be researching really hard before they enroll at a college. The problem is that we're asking teenagers to make huge debt decisions before they fully understand the consequences of those actions. Colleges are marketing really hard to young people, showing them that getting any degree is always a smart decision, when in reality, often it isn't. Education is always a good idea, no matter what. The problem is that education comes in limitless forms, and simply put, college often screws people over. If I were to go back to college, I would absolutely make sure that I was in a high-value field, work part or even full-time to offset the costs, and if I were to go into debt, I would make sure to do everything that I could to pay it off as quickly as possible. For more insights about future planning, go to morgansteinigal.com and subscribe to my email newsletter, and make sure to hit the like button down below if you think someone would benefit from this kind of video. Thanks for watching.